So respiration in human beings, our first topic. In human, obviously we're all human beings. So I would just start with, it involves two ways basically, the respiration. I'm just showing a video. Yeah. So it involves two ways. One is the gaseous exchange. Correct? That is basically our breathing. So basically what? Intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide respectively. In the sense we will take what? Oxygen inhales. We'll inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. So that is basically a breathing. Second thing is cellular respiration. Cellular respiration. So that is basically breakdown of simple food. The food we have, right? Correct? We break down that to release energy in the cells. So this happens inside a cell. So cellular respiration is what? Inside cell breakdown. Correct? Breakdown of, I'm not writing it down, breakdown of food molecules to release what? Energy. To release energy. So obviously we are breathing, everything is what? End of the day we need energy, that's all. Fine. And the most important question for the board exam point of view. So it's a very important question and they will ask every time. So that is breakdown of glucose. I'll write down here, very important. Breakdown of glucose. So I'll write down here glucose first, correct? And then first I'll write down the equation. So later on I will explain it. Okay. Yeah. So now I think we can see the glucose, correct? And this glucose, this, what I told first here, breakdown of glucose, correct? So glucose is basically what? C6, 6 carbon molecule. So that we is getting broken to what? A 3 carbon molecule is an energy. That is called pyruvate. And this happens where? Inside the cytoplasm. I'll just write it down here. Where it happens? Inside the cytoplasm. Okay, so 6 C6. C6 is now reduced to C3 and then energy. Now, first case we will see what? Absence of oxygen. So there are three cases. First case is what? Absence of oxygen. So 0% of oxygen. The last case is what? Presence of oxygen. Presence of oxygen. Second case is what? Lack of oxygen. Little bit of oxygen I can put. Lack of oxygen. So this is mainly in our muscle cell, the second one. Where it is? In our muscle cell. So I'm just explaining here how this breakdown is happening. Okay, so three cases are there. Because totally how many carbon atoms are there? Six are there, correct? So this has to be splitted. So in absence of what? In the first case, two carbon atom will be splitted. Second case, three. And the last one, the remaining one. That's it. Okay, correct. Presence of oxygen only, one carbon will be used. So totally six. So that will be what? Splitted proportionally. So let's see in the first case, absence of oxygen, what is happening? So in the absence of oxygen, we'll get what? Ethanol. We'll get what? Ethanol. Ethanol is basically what? Ethanol is basically what? C2H5OH. C2H5OH. Ethanol is basically C2H5OH. Correct? That is basically CH3CH2OH. So we'll get ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. In second case, we'll get what? Lactic acid. Lactic acid. And the last thing, carbon dioxide plus water. Carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. So with everything, energy is been released. Okay. With everything, energy is been released. So ethanol, that C2H5OH and all, after the class, I will explain what it is. So it's basically what? A hydrocarbon with alcohol. I hope you're clear up to this. If not, once session is over, I'll help you out with the same. Okay, yeah. So this is basically the breakdown of glucose by various pathways. So six molecules. What will happen first? Three carbon molecule plus energy. Yes, that is called pyruvate. 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 Correct? And there are three cases. Absence of oxygen, then lack of oxygen, and presence of oxygen. Presence of oxygen, where it will happen? In the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. The mitochondria, the powerhouse. The last case, we are getting only carbon dioxide and water. Second case, lactic acid. First case, ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus. With everything, you have to add energy. The first one is two carbon molecules, three, and the remaining one. So that one I'm not writing it here. Fine. Okay. Yeah. Now, coming to the next part, it is type of respiration. So we know that there are two types of respiration. Correct? One is type of respiration. First one, aerobic respiration. Second one, anaerobic. Aerobic, name itself will give. What is it? Aerobic. Presence of oxygen. Presence of oxygen. Anaerobic, absence of oxygen. Presence of oxygen, just now I told. What? Last case. What is the last case? Presence of oxygen. Presence of oxygen is which one? The last case, mitochondria. So this happens in mitochondria. Correct? And absence of oxygen, where it will happen? In cytoplasm. In cytoplasm. So presence of oxygen here, where it will happen? Mitochondria. And this case, it is what? Absence of oxygen. Anaerobic. Absence of oxygen. And where it will happen? Cytoplasm. Third one is what? The end product of this is carbon dioxide and water. here. Then anaerobic oxygen. End product is what? What is our end product we are getting here? Last thing. Carbon dioxide and this is what? This is for what? Presence of oxygen, we are getting what? Carbon dioxide and water. Absence of oxygen, what you are getting? Ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. So same thing, whatever I taught in the last, that same thing only we will be getting. You got the point. Correct? So if you studied the previous diagram, you can write the explanation of this very easily. Correct? So where will get more energy? In aerobic respiration. Energy will be more in what? Aerobic. Anaerobic, less energy will be released. Less energy will be released. So if you study the previous diagram properly, you can write the difference of this very easily. Okay. Fine. So if you study the previous diagram properly, we can write this explanation very, very easy. So the next topic is human respiratory system. I think now we can see this thing, write the diagram here. Correct? Yes. So we can see what a nasal passage is there, mouth cavity is there, larynx, trachea, the windpipe, correct, bronchus, left lung, right lung, and alveoli, pharynx, and everything, nasal cavity. So all of these things I'll be explaining now. Okay, very simple topic, not at all difficult to study. So nostril, I think we all know. Through our nasal passage only we are intaking the air. So that is something we need. I need to write it down. Nasal passage. Oh, so what about? Let me just share this thing. Yeah. What about this nasal passage? Where the air is flowing throughout the body. That's it. Correct. So nasal cavity. So obviously, what is the purpose of that nasal cavity? It is used to warm the oxygen. Correct. Before it reaches the lungs, it should warm. Yes or no? Correct. And then you can see something called pharynx here. Pharynx. So just like our ear contains the cartilages, right? This pharynx also contains what? Rings of cartilage. So it ensures that our air passage doesn't collapse. The pharynx, I'll write down that particular point. Pharynx. Use of pharynx. Correct? It is made up of what? It is made of cartilages. Correct? I can write here rings of cartilages. 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 Correct? So the main purpose of this is our air passage. Our air passage shouldn't collapse. Or this pharynx does not allow our air passage to collapse. So this is our main thing. Larynx. Without larynx, I can't speak. So that is basically the vocal cord. Trachea. So that's the favorite part here. Windpipe. Trachea or windpipe. So this connects the larynx to what? The bronchi of the lungs. Which one? Trachea connects the larynx, that is the vocal cord, correct, to the bronchi of the lungs. Yes. So what is, so you might be thinking, what is this bronchi? Bronchites, basically what? Branches. Correct? Yes. So main thing is what is this thing? Bronchi. So these are the main gateways. The bronchi The bronchi are what? The main gateways towards the lungs. It's a gateway, passage, I can tell. Passage towards the lungs. Towards the lungs. Then there are bronchioles. Bronchioles. So what is bronchioles? So once they get closer to the lungs, the bronchi gets smaller in size. So that is called bronchioles. You got the point? Huh? Yes. So bronchi will get smaller in size. So I can say it is a smaller size. Bronchi, smaller size. Bronchi are called what? Bronchioles. Correct? Yes. And what is the purpose of this bronchi? So the bronchi, the purpose here to know the purpose. So main purpose of bronchi and bronchioles is what basically? To carry oxygen towards the lungs, to carry oxygen towards the lungs, and to take away carbon dioxide from the lungs to the outside atmosphere. That's all. You got the point. So without this, I will be only able to supply the oxygen into the lungs, but unable to, without these, I can't be able to take the carbon dioxide. So that is a takeaway here. Carbon dioxide outside. Simple mechanism. We all know this thing. Correct? Yes. And then I have showed you something called alveoli in the diagram. Alveoli. So this now I am taking the glass. Correct. But still there is a movement of carbon dioxide and oxygen within my lungs. Correct. Which will help these things. The balloon like. So this is alveoli. Correct. Yeah. So this is about balloon like structures. Balloon like structures which will maintain the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So this helps the movement of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the lungs and the bloodstream. Correct? So what is the main purpose of alveoli? They allow the oxygen and carbon dioxide to pass through the lungs and and bloodstream respectively. Okay. Yeah. This is my stream, STREAM stream. The next topic is mechanism of breathing. So basically inhalation and explanation. Correct. So during inhalation, I'm taking in oxygen. Correct. Yes. So what happens during inhalation? My ribs lift up. My ribs lift up. Diaphragm becomes flat shape. Diaphragm become flat shape. Okay. During exhalation, my rib this lift up. So downwards, move downwards. And diaphragm becomes DIAPHRAM. Diaphragm becomes dome shaped. Dome shaped. So this is the mechanism of respiration in human beings respectively.